So while our top focus is the Shinzo Abe, Narendra Modi talks, the bullet train, we also want to focus on China suddenly smoking the peace pipe and want to ask the question why at this point of time. So take a look at the events that were happening. The Dragon was breathing fire all through June. It destroyed one of our bunkers in that area near Doklam. It began with that, and then for the next 2 months plus, for example, on the 16th of June, China started building a road in the Doklam area. On the 23rd of June, it stopped the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra through the Nathula route, and this was the Dragon breathing fire, mounting emotional and psychological pressure on India through pilgrims. But India stood firm, despite the Dragon, as you see here, breathing fire repeatedly. Again, on the 29th of June, China carried out tests of its light battle tanks somewhere along the Tibetan plateau. It warned India of dire consequences. On the 29th of June, once again, Chinese generals and foreign office and their media, they were reminding India of the 1962 war, very conveniently forgetting what had happened in 1967 at Nathula, in 1986-87 in Sundarongchu. Again, while China was breathing fire, India did not react at all, except saying, we will talk and sort out matters. But that didn't stop. 29th of June, 15th of July, 25th of July, in fact 25th of July becomes extremely significant because that is where you had a Chinese transgression at the Chamoli sector, the middle sector, usually which remains very calm in Uttarakhand. You had Chinese troops who came in, but within an hour they went back once again. But what happened on the 15th of August, India's Independence Day? Extremely shameful. Chinese troops enter into a scuffle with Indian Army soldiers at the Pangong So Lake, coming into the Finger Four area. Why did they suddenly do that, and why that scuffle? They were carrying baseball bats and iron rods. Why were they doing that? They were trying to browbeat India. India was not browbeaten. India stood firm. And suddenly, when this issue was sorted out on the 28th of August, before the BRICS summit, China, while it claimed it was victory for China that Indian troops were withdrawing, it also spoke of realigning its forces along the Doklam plateau and saying road perhaps may not be built, indicating that it pulled back its bulldozers. But now it's extremely significant what Chinese generals are saying. So on the 12th of September, China softened its stand, saying that the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra can once again, we can talk about resuming it from the Nathula sector. India is still waiting. There hasn't been an official response just as yet. But what is very significant is the 13th of September statement of a Chinese general. Now, it's a serving two-star Chinese army general called Liang, General Q Liang, and he said war is not an option. Talk of war is irresponsible. So the Dragon that was breathing fire all along is suddenly just hissing. There is smoke, but there is no fire. Why this change? That's the question that we're asking on the broadcast, and I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Shiv Arur and try and find out. Shiv Arur joins me from our newsroom. I also have India Today's Anant Krishnan joining me on the broadcast to try and figure out why is the Dragon suddenly backing off. Shiv Arur joins me on the broadcast. Shiv, Major General Q Leong, why this sudden change of stance, Shiv?
Well, it's very interesting, Gaurav, because, the Major General in question is a sitting officer, very well-regarded officer, who's not just part of the army chain of command in China, but also a very well-respected military strategist. And, for his words, coming at this time in such a contrast to all the hawkish warmongering that has been spewed, even by the Global Times and other Chinese media, state-owned media, over the last 2 months since the Doklam issue started off, is amazing. It's a huge contrast. But considering that his word actually accounts for quite a lot in China, the fact that he's talking about how two neighbors who are competitors don't need to deal with issues in the toughest way is not just a castigation of the warmongering that has become normal in China over the last 2 months, but also I think a sort of exercise in pragmatism and realpolitik. Since the Doklam issue has blown over, the fact that there has been this de-escalation despite this atmosphere and clouds of war that had been drummed up more by China than by anybody else suggests that China is looking to move on. Let bygones be bygones, at least as far as this Major General is concerned, and look forward to more healthy relations between the two countries. A recognition of trade ties, a recognition of the underpinnings of economic relationships between the two countries, being given importance, and trying to downplay the fact that conflict, even extended conflicts of this kind, don't need to be the way forward. How this is received by a very hawkish editorial line that both this paper and others have taken remains to be seen. But given that the man in question, Major General Kiao Liang, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, has spoken in such specific terms about how war, belligerence don't need to be the way forward, is of great significance going forward.
It indeed is, but India, as always, will adopt a wait and watch policy when it comes to the dragon. No longer breathing fire, but dragon all the same along the 4,000-kilometer long line of actual control. But let's now shift focus to the Shinzo Abe Narendra Modi talks. Now, this is being described as a game changer. The bullet train between Sabarmati in Gujarat to Mumbai in Maharashtra. Now, this bullet train will have a top speed of 350 kilometers per hour and will cover the 508-kilometer long journey in under 3 hours. Some say in 2.5 hours. The current travel time is between 7 and 8 hours. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi described this as a giant leap forward that will usher in a new India. We bring you this ground report.
Namaskar. Jai Japan, Jai India.
Indo-Japan bonhomie on track. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe flag off India's first ever bullet train project. The power bonding over bullet train. Gratitude over Japan's helping hand.
बुलेट ट्रेन परियोजना एक ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट है जो रोजगार भी लाएगा और वो रफ्तार भी लाएगा.
And mutual admiration between two of the world's most powerful men.
モディ首相は世界的先見的な視野を持つリーダーです。そしてそのモディ首相は2年前に決断しました。インドに高速鉄道を作る。新たな先進国としてのインドを作るという決意です。そして日本の新幹線を選んだ。私は、そして日本政府と日本の企業は一丸となってそのモディ首相の決断を全面的に支援する決意です。
ऐसी बैंक नहीं मिल सकती जैसे भारत को अबे शान जैसा दोस्त मिला है. जापान जैसा दोस्त मिला. अगर कोई ये कहे कि बिना ब्याज के ही लोन ले लो और 10-20 नहीं 50 साल में चुकाना, तो कोई यकीन करेगा क्या? लोगों को ऐसा बैंक नहीं मिलते, लेकिन भारत को ऐसा दोस्त मिला है.
The Prime Minister's most ambitious mega project is redefining Indo-Japanese ties.
日本はジャパン、その日本とインドが協力すれば、ヒンドゥー語のジャイ、すなわち勝利することができます。ジャイジャパン、ジャイインディア。そのために私はモディ首相と力を合わせます。ダニャワード。
The stage is now all set to fast-track India's first ever high-speed bullet train, which will zoom at a speed of 350 kilometers per hour. From Sabarmati all the way to Mumbai. The super-fast yet safest train is expected to make the 508-kilometer journey in 2 hours flat, while diving under sea for a 21-kilometer long tunnel. The project is estimated to cost over 1 lakh crore and will be funded almost entirely by Japan via a soft loan of 50-year tenure.
508-kilometer long bullet train. That's the total distance between Ahmedabad and Mumbai. It will have 12 stations throughout this journey. 21 kilometer, one of the longest underground tunnel is something that the train would have, and 7 kilometers would be underwater.
The first bullet train will run in 2022, the 75th anniversary of India's Independence Day.
後日私が空港に着いて、そして街頭をずっと車でモディ首相と共に走った際、地域の皆様から受けた大変な歓迎、私は忘れることはないでしょう。
With Geeta Mohan, Sahil Joshi and Gopi Manyar, Bureau Report, India Today.
So what's it like being on board a bullet train? I traveled on a bullet train from Tokyo to Kyoto in 2014. This is a train that almost touches a top speed of 350 kilometers per hour. We covered 500 kilometers in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. The price of a ticket, well, a little over 6,500 rupees. Let's now get you a sneak peek at how a Shinkansen will speed up from Sabarmati to Mumbai, perhaps on the 15th of August 2022. We are ready to embark on a 500-kilometer long train journey on board this Shinkansen Nozomi 700. This is the fastest train between capital Tokyo to Kyoto, and this train will cover that 500-kilometer long journey in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is the Shinkansen, the bullet train. This means, Nozomi means hope, and this is the journey of hope. The great bullet train dream. Prime Minister Narendra Modi dreams of getting a bullet train like this, the original Japanese Shinkansen, into India. We are now traveling on a bullet train from Japan's capital Tokyo to the heritage city of Kyoto. This is a green car we are traveling in, extremely popular bullet train here in Japan. Speeds of up to 300 kilometers per hour. Let's take you for a ride in this bullet train. किलोमीटर लंबा सफर, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं कि इस सफर में आप भूखे रहेंगे. What is there to eat? 500 किलोमीटर लंबे इस सफर में आपके पास सैंडविचेस भी हैं, दूध भी है, कॉफ़ी भी है, चाय भी है, बिस्किट्स भी हैं. बहुत महंगे हैं क्या, चलिए ये पता करते हैं. 850 येन के यहाँ पर बिस्किट्स हैं, सैंडविचेस हैं, लगभग 500 येन के आइसक्रीम भी है. I'll have a cup of coffee. टोक्यो से क्योटो की बात करें तो ये पहला रास्ता है टोक्यो से ओसाका का, जहाँ पर ये शिनकानसेन या बुलेट ट्रेन शुरू हुई थी. क्या ये महंगा है? जापान में कहते हैं टाइम इज मनी. टाइम इज मनी. तो अगर आपको थोड़ा ज्यादा पैसा देना भी पड़ रहा है तो कोई बात नहीं. Train fare between Tokyo and Kyoto is about 13,500 yen. Now, if you were to roughly calculate this and convert this into Indian rupees, it would be about 6,500 rupees. And many would ask, can people in India afford this fare? If we were to say between Mumbai to Ahmedabad, which is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dream, to have a bullet train for 500 kilometers, would people be willing to pay 6,500? We spoke to some passengers on board this train and they say time is money, and paying 6,500 rupees and reaching in 2.5 hours and safe is well worth it. Between Tokyo and Osaka or Kyoto, where we are headed, this train, this bullet train Shinkansen, stops at 5 places. But this place, it stops the longest. This is Shizuoka. This is the headquarters of Suzuki Motors. This is where the makers of Maruti Suzuki car started their journey. Now at this station, you have train inspectors like this gentleman who's now telling everyone all aboard. The moment he says all aboard, people board this train. Like for example, this gentleman is now saying it's time to board. Now, and the moment the inspector says board, everyone boards the train and it starts moving. The journey from Tokyo to Kyoto took about 2 hours and 15 minutes. The bullet train will now travel all the way up to Osaka. But tremendous excitement on board this train on this journey. There are 2 classes, the green car and the blue car. Passengers by and large prefer the blue car because it's cheaper. But clearly this is a journey which is well worth it. If you also think time is money, the bullet train is for you. Let's now shift focus because there was another very powerful message from the meeting, and that was a signal to Pakistan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe focused on zero tolerance for terror. They called upon Pakistan to bring to justice perpetrators of the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks of 2008 and the Pathankot terror attacks. Now, India and Japan will work to disrupt terror financing while seeking global cooperation to destroy safe sanctuaries of terror in Pakistan and elsewhere.
Namaskar.
Two of Asia's largest economies, eye to eye, encountering global and regional challenges. And now, Japan and India come together to fight off Pak terror.
We will destroy radical Islamic terrorism.
Mumbai brought to its knees in 2008. More than 160 people killed in the carnage. 8 years later, terror from across the border struck again. This time on the symbols of India's military might. Pathankot's air base in January and an army camp in September of 2016. After testing India's patience for years, the terror headquarters now stands isolated. The international community has thrown its weight behind India. Japan's the latest to come on board unequivocally. In a joint statement with Prime Minister Modi, Abe minced no words in naming Pakistan, pledging zero tolerance towards terror, vowing to fight threats from Lashkar, Jaish and other terror outfits. Joining hands with India to demand justice for Mumbai and Pathankot. India and Japan driving their strategic ties to the next level in the face of an increasingly assertive China and sanctuaries of global terror in Pakistan. With Geeta Mohan, Bureau Report, India Today.
In Jammu and Kashmir, it's a massive victory for the security forces. Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists and the mastermind of the Amarnath terror attack, Abu Ismail, has been killed in an encounter in Naugam near Srinagar with an accomplice Abu Qasim was the accomplice killed. Jammu and Kashmir police said the encounter was launched after very specific intelligence was developed which helped them track Abu Ismail. Apart from the Amarnath terror attack, where 8 people were killed, Ismail was also responsible for orchestrating the Pantha Chowk attack on a CRPF convoy in June. Abu Ismail's death has been described as a huge victory for the Jammu and Kashmir police, the CRPF and the army.
Number 1, Abu Ismail from Pakistan, and Abu Qasim, known as Chota Qasim also, from Pakistan. Abu Ismail was involved in 15 FIRs. And if you remember, after elimination of Dujana, he had taken over as the Chief of Lashkar in Valley.